Hey guys, it's me. It's me, Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. It's about 3:20 p.m. August 12th, 2020. I hope everybody's hanging in there. All the asymmetrical warfare and the New World Order are rolling in. Mordor. I think living in the spirit kind of comes to mind. We need to get information out, get resources that we need, be with our families as much as we can, but living in the spirit, connecting with God, and then because things are getting very, very evil. The Beirut explosion. It's like the government stepped down. I have a feeling that's Israel trying to take over some countries there. But that's not what this video is about. I just wanted to show UC Berkeley. They have this video where it says UC Berkeley just invented smart dust. They just invented neural dust. And we know that's not true. I mean, it's just blatant false. It's just blatantly false. And I have another article to show y'all where it proves that's blatantly false from 2016. DARPA revealing, smart dust, and that they could use it to send to receive signals from the brain through the nervous system. But let me show you guys this, and this is what happens. The military-industrial complex, they trickle out technologies to like universities and hospitals, and they come up with like fake histories of how it was rolled out, right? When it's been used for like many decades, right? Many decades to target individuals, to do military ops and things like that, to experiment on people, to torture people. But then they're like, oh, UC Berkeley invented this new neural dust thing, can be implanted in the body, right? And we know that they don't need anything like smart dust, nanotechnology, nanoparticulates like Morgellons type substances, biofilm on the skin, or regular type implants. They can do it with our unique brainwave signature, our unique DNA signature, and our brain naturally has magnetite in it. But these are redundant systems that they use as catalysts to turn our bodies into dirty circuit boards to intensify the targeting and do specific things, right? Do specific things to the nervous system, receive specific signals at a more intense level back for remote neural monitoring. Send 2 for more intense remote neural manipulation. Well, let me get a sip of my spinach. My dad just came in. I was trying to make the video. My dad just came in, like right when I started recording the video, and he's wearing his mask. He's always wearing his mask because he listens to Fox News. But he just got an MRI done recently, and there is a chance he might have prostate cancer. So we were talking about that. It's a really horrible thing. Of course, he keeps his phone, his cell phone, smartphone in his pocket. And one of his friends just got prostate cancer too. Well, and my dad's severely targeted, but we'll never talk about it, and just that doesn't exist. And anything that I talk about is crazy and doesn't exist. That kind of got into my head, that whole conversation. Hopefully he doesn't have it though. But let's get into this information. I guess I'll keep you guys updated on that. It's just they remote neural manipulate him, and he doesn't even know it exists. Brain injury where he almost died, and it's so serious. It's so serious, and they just did this with no repercussion. They're still experimenting on him. They're experimenting on me, so I can't help the family as much. I can barely, organize my thoughts, and it's just like, and then, oh, more overt killing of people, more overt poisoning of people, more overt just shutting down people's lives while they target anybody who fights against it. The Mordor. Okay, but let's get into this. I just wanted to show y'all this propaganda from UC Berkeley, like they invented this, like they came up with it. So new neural dust sensor could be implanted in the body. And a new neural dust sensor could be implanted. It's new. It's a brand new thing. It hasn't been used on, hundreds of thousands of targeted individuals throughout the decades, right, in America and other countries. It's just brand new technology. And you see, this is how they get it out on the surface, where they can start using it for consumer things and medical things, and they make up just this fantasy history that scientists at UC Berkeley came up with it. In the other article that I'm going to show you, they'll probably disappear that so they can have this fantasy history. Electronic music, the future of brain-machine interfaces, is at our fingertips. UC Berkeley engineers designed a sensor as small as a grain of sand, wireless, implantable in the body, providing data in real time. The neural dust successfully recorded electrical signals in nerves, which is big because these tiny devices could one day help quadriplegics move their arm. Neural dust would record electrical activity from nerve cells in the brain. It's already being done. It's already been done for years and years. Ultrasound is sent to the neural dust, right, which returns a signal with data about the nerve's electrical activity. And signals, can read signals, can write signals. That data is analyzed, revealing different electrical patterns which dictate corresponding movements for the prosthetics. Okay, wait. Okay, I can't pause it. Oh, my attackers really mess with this? Well, let me go back a little bit. Okay. Go back to this one, which dictate corresponding movements for the prosthetic. But smart dust has been used and targeted to target people for many years to get a signal to the brain and from the brain to an intense signal, right? So they have other methods, implants, and without anything, the unique brainwave signature and everything like that. But this can read and write intense signals from the nervous system to the brain and back. Right, and they're going to show these certain things that targeted individuals have been saying, hey, this is being done to me. They're making me have to use the bathroom. I can't breathe. You know, they're messing with my heart and stuff like that. So it's going, UC Berkeley just invented this. Okay, which dictate corresponding movements for a prosthetic. To be implanted in the brain, engineers are designing a newer, smaller neurodust. But the thing is, they have smart dust and nanotechnology that we inhale, and it goes straight through the blood-brain barrier to neural networks creating neural networks on the brain. But this is how it's introduced, the fantasy story that UC Berkeley scientists they created this. They created this neural dust, and it could be implanted in the brain, and designing newer and smaller neurodust. Using materials that could last a lifetime. Wow, and that's why targeted individuals so hard. We have implants in our bodies, and we have smart dust in our bodies, and nanotechnology that's past the blood-brain that lasts a lifetime. So we can have a lifetime of torture, you know. Great. Figure out materials that can just last forever. Little tiny neural dust. Neural dust could be used for other applications, for other health applications. It can also be used to send pain signals to the body through the brain. It can also be used to send visuals to the brain. It can be used to send internal voice stuff and V2K to the brain. Can be used to torture a person. Send signals from the nervous system of the brain and then back. And it can be used to remotely monitor the brain, to monitor people's thoughts, visuals, feelings. Yeah, I guess emotions is the same thing. Like to check the health of an organ. Stimulate nerves to suppress appetite or control bladder function. Right? How many targeted individuals, how many times have I said my attackers are making me have to use the bathroom? Or like targeted individuals say I can't eat. Like my attackers are remotely affecting my brain and my nervous system, so I have no appetite, or I'm eating too much, or something like that. But UC Berkeley just invented this. They just invented this stuff. BS. The military-industrial complex invented these things and has been using them since after World War II. And this is just one angle, right? This is just one redundant system catalyst that they use to send intense signals to the body. They've been doing it to millions of people around the world, and more every day. More and more every day. You hear more and more people saying they're targeted every day. That they're getting the high-pitched sound and the ringing sound in their ears. They're getting intense pain in their nervous system. My back hurts so bad. Like I guess it's the vagus nerve or the what's that nerve? It's like right by my spine on the left side, and it hurts so bad. Like the Neurontin helps; it's helping my jaw a little bit, but I take it in the morning, and then it's like I think it lasts like 3 or 4 hours, and then it's like my attackers kind of get back in there. My jaw feels like the vagus nerve feels better, but there's a nerve in my back, so maybe it's not the vagus nerve that they're stimulating through the brain. It may be the I can't think of that nerve. The sciatica. It could be my sciatic nerve. I'm not sure. It really hurts, and my brain feels like mush. It's not funny. It's not funny. Or even treat conditions like epilepsy. So this technology can do a lot of good stuff, right? We all know that it can. I think that electromagnetic frequencies, neuroweapons, like used right. I mean, it can cure mental illness. Like because electromagnetic frequencies affect your chemicals in your brain, right? Just as the chemicals in your brain changing affects the electromagnetic frequency of your brain. Right, so you can modulate with neuro weapons or electromagnetic fields, streams of energy, and you can actually like take somebody's brain that has like too much dopamine, and you could like target that and make it so it balances out the dopamine, and like cure schizophrenia and stuff like that. Right now they try and do this artificial schizophrenia. They try and destroy the brain, at least with targeted individuals who are getting like the violent torture, the violent mind control, the trauma-based mind control, and everything like that. It's supposed to condition our brain in a really bad way and actually change the way our brain is putting out chemicals in a really detrimental way for our life. But this stuff can go the other way. They can do a lot of great stuff with it. Which I think, and I have this thing, there's this new device, and I'll show you all on a live stream, or I'll probably have to make some short videos. Probably have to make some short videos coming up because I'm having a lot of trouble with that. I'm just really tired from the target, way worse than tired from the targeting, and trying to figure some things out in my life. But I'm definitely gonna do some short videos, live stream every once in a while. But anyway, there's this, device that you can put on your head, and it can actually put you in a theta state, a delta state, an alpha state. Because I know our attackers, well, they'll put an electromagnetic field around our head, bidirectional stream of energy, and they can put us in, with the right resonance, they can put us in a theta state or a depressive state or an anxious state. So it's this device that can actually maybe fight that, right? There's these consumer products that are coming out with all these, on the surface that can actually be very, very good, right? Can be very, very good using electromagnetic frequencies. I think that's going to be, coming up. We've got the UN thing, right? But I think you know, these positive consumer medical products are going to be lifesavers for us. You know, we've already got some good defenses, but adding some things that can counteract, right? There's already stuff out there. There's already stuff out there. I just haven't found some of it. Maybe some targeted individuals have found some really good counteractive, you know, electromagnetic tools for the brain. But I'll show you all that on another video. So it's some very promising stuff. So Berkeley, University of California, they invented it. They invented the neural dust. I just want to play that part one more time, where it says they came up with it. UC Berkeley engineers designed a sensor, so they designed it. They just designed it, these brilliant scientists. So let me pull this up. Wait, let me play this. Small as a grain of sand, wireless, implantable in the body. Here's from DARPA. Implantable neural dust enables precise wireless recording of nerve activity. This is from 2016. This is when DARPA kind of revealed, you know, that they were working on a neural dust, but we know that this stuff had been being used way before 2016, right? So I just wanted to show you all the hypocrisy in how this works. These fantasy histories of technologies that have been used on targeted individuals, have been used to torture, have been used to remote neural monitor, remote neural manipulate, destroy families, isolate people. How these technologies are then given this fantasy history when they're trickled out into a university like MIT or UC Berkeley, or some hospital somewhere. Doctors at this hospital figure out how to use fMRI. You know, they figure out at MIT they figure out a way to create electromagnetic fields around the head, and then a stream, a bidirectional stream of ultrasonic energy, infrasound, to actually affect neurons and neural networks, right? They just some scientists at MIT came up with it, which is bull crap. It's bull crap. People have been targeted and experimented with this stuff, but that's the way they do it. That's the way they kind of bring it to the surface with this fantasy lie of, oh, these scientists somewhere, they just came up with this. More spinach. Hold on. All right, so check this out. So first in vivo tests demonstrate ultrasound can be used to wirelessly power and communicate with millimeter scale devices surgically placed in muscles and nerves. and the deal is there's much smaller smart dust. There's much smaller you know, neural dust that you can breathe in, nanotechnology that you can breathe in. They're just like, oh yeah, we figured out this thing, but it has to be implantable. We have to implant it, right? To keep the public thinking there's not stuff that they're breathing in and going past the blood-brain barrier that can then be targeted. They can then be directed energy, and neuro weapons can interact with those, you know, with that nanotechnology. Excuse me. So it has a transistor on it, recording electrodes, piezo crystal. And I think that's why we should use orgonite. It has a lot of piezo crystals in it that can actually counteract, you know, some of the directed energy, and like how it's connecting to our body. Ultrasound wavefront, polymer encapsulation. I really want to find some kind of supplement or some chemical that would not be dangerous to us, that would be able to like flow through the body in what's it called, and eat away at that polymer. Like anything, we like figure out what implants and nanotechnology are encapsulated in. There's got to be some chemical that could erode that lining, right? I don't know about that. You know, I'm taking zeolite. There's another video I need to show y'all where this guy is saying zeolite's really good for getting that out. I'm just not sure if it's getting out, like, smart dust or nanotechnology. I know it's getting out heavy metals. I'm just not sure. I've heard that it gets out nanotechnology. I know it gets out nanoparticulates like Morgellons. I'm just not sure if some of the things that they get in, that we breathe in, and that we get inside of us from even bigger implants. I don't know if it gets those out. So therapeutic modulation of the activity of the body's peripheral nervous system holds a world of potential for mitigating and treating diseases and other health conditions. So they say, oh, it's going to cure and treat disease and health conditions. They frame it that way, and they kind of stay away from this could just rip somebody's mind up. It could implant thoughts. It can implant visuals. It can send harassing signals and painful signals to the body through the nervous system. Stay away from that. If researchers can figure out a feasible long-term mechanism for communicating with the nerves and pathways that make up the body's information superhighway between the spinal cord and other organs, and I don't know, like the Neurontin's helping me. Seems like the vagus nerve pain over here kind of stopped, but I'm getting this stimulation in a nerve right by my spine. It's like my attacker switched everything. When I started taking the Neurontin, they started stimulating this nerve right by my spine. It's like they lost control of something, and so they're doing another protocol, right? They're trying to adapt so they can keep getting signals from my nervous system and brain, and sending signals to my nervous system and my brain. It's still, everything that I'm doing is helping. The defenses are helping. It tones things down to a bearable level. But with me, I'm putting out this information, and I know we all have sophisticated attackers, but it's almost like they're like, okay, well, these defenses are working, but we got to figure out a way to at least make him hurt, like somehow get around. So there's many protocols they use. I'm actually thinking about getting that mirror helmet, because I think a main problem, I've told you all this. I think a main problem is they're using a protocol, and I don't know if we all get this protocol. I'm not sure, but what Brian too talks about, a bidirectional stream of photonic energy, or photonic mixed with scalar energy. We just don't know how they've advanced. Like, they put out this kind of stuff about electromagnetic frequencies and stuff like that, and RF and everything like that, but we don't know how far they've advanced and mixed certain signals, right? I think I'm gonna try that mirror helmet. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I showed it on another one of my videos. I'm gonna try that and see if it locks that down. But I just want, because I know that probably a lot of people are like, Kyle's using defenses, but sometimes he's still like getting pounded, just getting severely targeted, and that's just because like the defenses, like anybody who's tried the defenses understands what I'm talking about. Like, it brings it down, it stops this or that, these specific things that they're doing, but then they'll find another way, or they'll kind of get past it, but the defenses do work. You're still fighting the targeting, So let's see if there's anything else important here. I just wanted to disprove that real quick, because DARPA had already talked about it. But you see how they do things, right? You see how they lie about those things. Neural dust represents a radical departure from the traditional approach of using radio waves for wireless communication with implanted devices, said Doug Weber, the DARPA program manager for electrics. The soft tissues of our body consist mostly of salt water. Sound waves pass freely through these tissues and can be focused with pinpoint accuracy at nerve targets deep inside our body, while radio waves cannot. Indeed, this is why sonar is used to image objects in the ocean, while radar is used to detect objects in the air. By using ultrasound to communicate with the neural dust, the sensors can be made smaller and placed deeper inside the body by needle injection or other non-surgical approaches. In that paragraph, it's kind of like it's kind of what I was saying about, like, oh man, I block a lot of the microwaves, right, that are going to my head, that are going to my vestibular system. But then it's like they have ultrasound as a tool that they can do things with, maybe smart dust in my system or nanotechnology in my system. So there's just so many different protocols and angles that they're coming at us at. Our world sucks. Still a lot of good things. If I didn't say, I don't remember if I said, my memory is like really horrible, but we've got to live in the spirit, interact, like, put out information and things like that, but really just try and get into the spirit. Have joy in your connection with God, even though these are dark days. Help people. Everything's about resonance. We've got, and for targeted individuals, that's tough because they're lower in our resonance. Like, scientifically messing with our brain to lower our resonance, our nervous system, tearing apart our body. But we need God to lift that resonance up and live in the spirit in these dark days. Still try and change things for the better. Still try and change things for the better and help, but things are getting really, really dark. Things are getting really, really dark. We need to get tight with God. We need to get tight with Jesus Christ, and be adaptive, adapt, try and get resources, try and help here, be adaptable, but live in the spirit. Don't let this darkness in the world mess with your resonance. Our resonance is already being messed with by our attackers, right? You're microwaving us, using ultrasound, using nanotechnology and everything like that. We can't let all the darkness and all the sheeple and deceit and everything like that, and the riots and the craziness. Like, even my dad was saying, he was like, it's weird. He has this double-mindedness about mind control. He's like, he was like, everybody on TV is just talking nonsense. Like, we got to get ready. He's like, all this is just nonsense. These are the last days, and like, this is just. He's like, it's just like, he said it. He was like, it's like just mind control going around. And I was like, well, Dad, there's like an infrastructure besides 5G. There's a military. There's a weapons grid for mind control, for using microwaves and RF, and it's been used for a long time. And there's other things too. There's like the Lily, and he was like, okay, yeah, and like, so he blew that off, like, oh, that's conspiracy theory, Kyle. But it's this double-mindedness. He sees it out in the world. He feels mind control, and he's just like, this world, Satan owns it. Satan owns it, and we need to be talking about eternity. I kind of like, I think that God controls Satan. God puts it in my heart to work as hard as I can with this life, right? He put me here in this world, maybe to deal with this, maybe to help people. I still feel like I want to live some life. My dad got to get married and have kids and have a business, so he's kind of like, we need to be talking about it. He's at that point in his life, right? But I feel like God put us here for a reason still. And it's different for everyone. That's just for me. Some people may be like my dad and just like, Satan owns this world, and I'm just gonna think about eternity, and then some people may be like me, like, we've got to salvage as much as we can, adapt, still live in the spirit, right? I think even in those two schools of thought, we both need to live in the spirit as much as we can, and know that when things get dark, it's like, man, I'm gonna help as much as I can, I'm gonna care as much as I can, I'm gonna get out information about this darkness, but also try and give people hope and compassion, humanity, high resonance to hold on to, because that's being attacked. Like, that's one of the asymmetrical things, is like lowering people's hope, fear, the fear frequency, the propaganda, and everything like that. When people are scared, they're more easy to control. It goes in a cycle, right? So whenever you can, you need to try and lift people up. We're not always going to be able to do it. We're just human beings, and there's so much chaos and stuff like that. And you know, just speaking for me, I know a lot of you guys are going through that. My nervous system's being ripped off. My mind is a mess where I can't organize it. With the Neurontin for a little while, for a couple of hours, I'm like, oh, I can kind of think again. But I got to be careful with that. I just take those couple of hours that it works, and I use it as kind of a therapeutic against it, therapeutic of helping out. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else in this. I'll put both the articles in the description, but I just wanted to show y'all how that works. Through their minuscule size is an achievement in itself. The dust motes are as impressive for the elegant simplicity of their engineering. Each sensor consists of only 3 main parts: a pair of electrodes to measure nerve signals, a custom transistor to amplify the signal, and a piezoelectric crystal that serves the dual purpose of converting the mechanical power of externally generated ultrasound waves into electrical power and communicating the recorded nerve activity. Wow. The neural dust system also includes an external transceiver board that uses ultrasound to power and communicate with the motes by emitting pulses of ultrasonic energy and listening for reflected pulses. Ultrasound to power and communicate with motes by emitting pulses of ultrasonic energy and listening for reflected pulses. During testing, the transceiver board was positioned approximately 9 millimeters away from the implant. This proof of concept was developed under the first phase of the ElectRx program. The research team will continue to work on further miniaturizing the sensors. The military-industrial complex, like contractors and intelligence agencies and like the Pentagon and DARPA, already have it. So it's like where it's on your finger, it's like a little black dot on your finger, and it can be inhaled. And they've been putting it in chemtrails, food, and water for many years. But then they put this stuff out. They put this stuff out to kind of trick everyone as to how far it's gone, right? So they can keep it hidden and still target people, the whole population, the whole population of the world, the whole population of the world. Yeah, the whole population of the world. So the research team will continue to work on further miniaturizing the sensors, ensuring biocompatibility, increasing the portability of the transceiver board, and achieving clarity in signals processing when multiple sensors are placed near each other. Yeah, and guys, just keep in mind this is just one angle of a catalyst that they would use to target people, to send signals to the brain and the nervous system, right? Just one angle. There are other things, other catalysts used, and then without any catalyst, they can use our unique brainwave signature. We have magnetite in our brain too, and they can even, with photonic energy in 7G, target DNA. Target like light that your DNA emits. Image caption. Each neural dust sensor consists of only 3 main parts: a pair of electrodes to measure nerve signals, a custom transistor to amplify the signal, and a piezoelectric crystal that serves the dual purpose of converting the mechanical power of externally generated ultrasound waves into electrical power and communicating the recorded nerve activity. So I wonder, like, you get orgonite and it has piezoelectric crystals in it. I wonder what it's converting the directed energy coming in. Is it just dissipating it, or is it I wonder what it's converting it into. There's some kind of scientific transition. If you have orgonite or piezoelectric crystals, something that it's doing to directed energy when it comes in. I may look into that a little bit more. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you all that from DARPA in 2016. Implantable neural dust enables precise wireless recording of nerve activity, and then I got all this stuff. And then they're presenting it from August 3rd, 2016. But they're saying that UC Berkeley came up with it. When was this? August 3rd. This was August 3rd. Why are they saying that Berkeley came up with it? Is it DARPA? Like DARPA scientists working at UC Berkeley or something? Or DARPA just like, because this is at the same time DARPA's announcing it. DARPA is like saying that they have it. It's already been used for a long time, right? But then they just kind of front it. They just front it like that. They say, yeah, UC Berkeley came up. They don't want to say DARPA came up with it. Or did they have DARPA scientists, working at Berkeley? I don't know, but it's definitely deceit, and it's definitely propaganda. It's the way they trickle these things out. They say that these scientists came up with it. UC Berkeley scientists. So why does DARPA have the same thing? The point is, that these UC Berkeley scientists did not come up with this. That DARPA came up with it, but it was a long time before 2016. That's the bottom line that I kind of want to show y'all. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. I might make some short informational videos. I'm having a lot of trouble connecting my live stream stuff, my StreamYard and everything. And then when I do, it's like my attackers will let me go for like an hour or something, and then cut it off. And then they're slowing down the connection from StreamYard to YouTube, and so I put the video out, and it's just you can't even see me. It's so blurry. It's like such a slow data rate. So I'm trying to use virus software stuff and look into. I want to get a free VPN. If anybody knows a free VPN I could get, I'd like to get that, and then maybe that would help a little bit. Maybe. I just don't think anything helps. My virus software doesn't pick up anything. It doesn't pick up my attackers on my computer. They're just coming in a back door. They have these, like I'll turn on my computer and these black programming boxes, like 4 of them will disappear real quick. So they're just on the computer doing whatever they want. All right, guys, I love y'all. Let's just stay strong and, stay in the spirit. And I think a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are doing that. I'm trying to do it all the time. But I'll look at the world around us and I'm like, what do we do? We're in trouble. And the loudest voices in the truth community, they're doing an awesome job. And they're telling people to stand up and everything like that. But then it's like they don't know about this stuff. They don't know they don't know how far it's gone. And I get a little bit like, we can go protest about some stuff on the surface, but the top of the pyramid and these organizations have stuff that's going on that's just like, we're going into your heads right now. They're with 5G and with lily waves and everything, they're getting into everybody's heads right now. Just more and more people on this layer that people aren't even talking about. Some people are talking about, targeted individuals are talking about it, but it's massive. It's a massive takeover, a massive poisoning, a massive finance shift, a massive finance reset, a massive killing people off when they're locked in their homes and they have no jobs and they drink themselves to death or whatever, targeting people in their homes and their bodies give out. I mean, it's a massive genocide just rolling, and it's so serious. It's so serious. It's not just like, oh, it's a pandemic and people are going to be locked down and, oh, they're screwing us over, but everything will go back to normal. It's a massive attack and now we've got hot wars going off too, right? All right, guys. Okay, I'm getting a call. But let's live in the spirit. Do as much as we can. I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next one.